Welcome back to the news. I'm Geoff Silver, and you're not. I have to say it's a pleasure for me to be back behind the desk. After a very long stint in rehab, I'm back. No more drinking or mountains of coke for me. Since it's been about 3 years since I was last behind the desk, this week's episode will be me recapping the events of the last 3 years. Let's start with 2022. Elon Musk brought Twitter, and somehow made it worse than it already was. Another Queen Elizabeth died, this time leaving Charles in charge of our days and our lives. A lettuce lasted longer than UK PM Liz Truss. Anthony Albanese beat Scotty from marketing in the Australian election. The Commonwealth Games happened, but let's be honest, who gives a fuck about those? Cryptocurrency exchange FTX filed for bankruptcy. ChatGPT was released, making people bigger retards than before. And that year there were a total of 51 school shootings that resulted in death in America. And in Australia there were none. And now for my news segment. What has Bob Catter said this week? Surprisingly, nothing yet. It's been pretty boring. I was waiting for something. In 2023, it turns out actually like a lot less happened this year than I remembered. A bunch of writers and actors had a bitch because they weren't getting paid enough, so they went on strike. A majority of Australia voted against the voice referendum. A bunch of rich people died while going to explore the wreckage of the Titanic. I'm not trying to victim shame, but if you get in there and see that they control it with an old video game controller, it's your own fault. Erin Patterson was arrested and later convicted of stealing Gordon Ramsay's signature dish. I'm joking, she actually just murdered her in-laws. In October, Hamas attacked Israel, causing a major escalation in conflict between Palestine and Israel. And there were between 340 and 350 school shootings in the US that year, and none in Australia. And now for 2024. What a year this was. It was like pretty mental. O.J. Simpson died after a battle of cancer. Cancer's comment was, "I did not, could not, and would not commit this crime." The US presidential election was one of the funniest things to happen in the existence of elections. During the election, we had the debate of the century, Biden versus Trump, round 4. Let's be honest, none of us watched this for the debating skills. We watched it because it was two old white men with dementia fighting. During the debate, Biden brings up that Trump had sex with a porn star, referring to Stormy Daniels. Donnie lights up with that cheeky little grin like, damn right I did. Then he responded with, "I did not have sex with a porn star." You know, like he totally wasn't found guilty of 34 counts of falsifying business records directly relating to having sex with said porn star just 2 weeks earlier. My absolute favourite part of the debate, though, was when they brought up golf, the most important thing when deciding who would be a better fit to be the leader of the free world. About a month after this debate, though, Joe Biden dropped out of the election and his spot was taken over by Kamala Harris. Harris was pretty much fucked from the beginning just because of the damage Biden had caused. Trump and Elon Musk also became besties during this time. As everyone knows, Donnie ended up winning the election, proving to women yet again, no matter how qualified you are, you will lose the job to an old white man. During the course of the election cycle, there was also an assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Moving on from the election, in January of the same year, 900 pages of Epstein files were released, naming people such as Stephen Hawking and Bill Clinton. Neither have commented publicly on the names being included. Diddy was also arrested. The Charlie XCX album Brat was released, causing what was known as the Brat Summer. A chick became famous for explaining how she gives a blowjob. This led to her getting a podcast and then scamming a ton of people with a meme coin. The CEO of United Healthcare was assassinated. The suspect is Luigi Mangione, and he is currently facing trial. And there were between 330 and 340 school shootings in the US that year, and none in Australia. 2025 has certainly been an interesting year so far, and by interesting I mostly mean a fucking nightmare. LA was on fire in January, causing mass evacuations and approximately 30 deaths. Trump announced tariffs to be placed on everything. Due to not many people understanding how tariffs actually work, I will explain it. That company that distributes the product now has to pay an extra 10% per import. This causes the price of that product to increase as the company has to now recoup that 10%. Elon and Trump broke up. Such a shame. I was really rooting for those crazy kids. Trump has spent a total of 64 days out of the, was it 257 that he's currently been president for, on the golf course, which comes to approximately 25% of his presidential term on the golf course. This has cost American taxpayers approximately $90,000. The worst part of this, though, is like, he doesn't actually do anything cool when he's out there, you know? He hasn't given us a George W. Bush.
All nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Man, why can't we have the old Republicans back? Bush dodging shoes is hilarious, you know? First shoe gets thrown at him, he gets that little bit of a smile, and then he starts making the head movements like he hasn't played a game of shoe dodge in a long time. There was a cyclone in Queensland that ended up being a little disappointing, considering how much it was hyped up to, like, kill everyone. Justin Trudeau resigned as the PM of Canada. The Pope died, and now we have the Chicago Pope. And no, that is not a really bad TV show created by Dick Wolf. The war between Russia and Ukraine is still going on. Anthony Albanese again won the Australian election, this time defeating Lord Voldemort. ICE was sent to many places in the US to arrest illegal immigrants. This caused mass protests. Previous Superman actor Dean Cain also joined ICE, and he provided the internet with video of him completing the training course. Cain was thinking, wow, I'm so awesome for doing this, not noticing that everyone was making fun of him for, one, joining ICE in the first place despite his grandfather literally being an immigrant, and two, him struggling to get through the course. There was also this recent incident where a man on a bicycle managed to escape multiple ICE agents that were surrounding him. How incompetent can a group of 10 people be that they failed to apprehend one person that they were surrounding? Seriously, this dude was off his bike to begin with, picking up his phone. They run at him. He runs, then hops onto the bike after running for a bit, and pretty much they're also rounding him like in a line curving around, right where the bike had to go, but they missed him. Stephen Colbert's talk show was cancelled after somehow causing CBS and Paramount to lose somewhere between 40 and 50 million each year. This news only came out after Colbert criticized Paramount for settling a lawsuit with Donald Trump so that the merger with Skydance could go through. After the news of cancellation, Trump has made various posts threatening to make the other late-night talk show hosts get cancelled. Noticeably, he continued not to mention Seth Meyers for an extended period of time. I found this interesting, as I would argue that Seth Meyers is arguably the most political out of the talk show hosts. Recently, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about the Republicans' reaction to this. This caused his talk show to get suspended indefinitely at the time. There were also direct threats from the president regarding this. In protest, a fuckload of people cancelled their Disney Plus subscriptions. Disney stock literally went down $3.6 billion in the week due to this. And Kimmel was subsequently restated. And to finish off, there have been 146 school shootings in the US this year, and none in Australia. It's been an honour being back reading the news for you tonight. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.